What it is, everybody? Thanks for tuning back into another episode here on the Speedbug channel. And we're going to switch it up with a little bit of car content here for you. Now, I tend to purchase and buy things. This is nothing new coming to the channel, but I tend to purchase and buy things that give me the most value per dollar, as a whole and complete package. And you guys have heard and heard me mention that many times here on the channel. And I'm not saying this because I own it, but it also is because I own it. And I made that decision because not only do I love American muscle, even though it's a sports car, but kind of a little bit American muscle, but it's really a sports car. It's not a muscle car. But it is, and 100%, whether you believe it or not, you can look it up and you can come up with every excuse under the sun. It's the damn truth, 100%, and it is the Corvette and the Corvette platform, particularly the C5, C6, and C7. And hands down, 100%, this is the best car you can buy in the world for the money. Now, I realize for the viewers that are watching this in other parts of the world where the car is also priced and taxed based off of its engine size, and us Americans like to use big displacement, so it is a little bit out of reach for some of you others in the other parts of the world, meaning not in America, to also obtain this car. Where this car, I could tell you right now, my car was $77,000 when I bought it brand new, and like out the door it was like 80, little over 80-ish or so. And so this exact same car would be, upwards of 160, 170,000 sometimes in Europe and things like that, because of the taxes that it's going to cost to have it imported into the country because of its engine size. Very similar to like how the Escalades are like almost $250,000, where Mercedes is over there are like 10 grand, and then like an S-Class in the US is like 200,000. Just due to that import over there and a domestic over there, and vice versa here. But from a sports car perspective, this is the best car that you can buy for the money, dollar per dollar, and horsepower per dollar. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's the fastest. I'm not going to sit here and say that it is that it's just the best car in the world. Absolutely not. But when you factor in what you can get for a stock car, not that what you can build in your garage, not what I have here, where I've completely destroyed my car. My car makes well over, like I said, 1,000 wheel horsepower. My car is completely destroyed. This is a race car. I'm talking a stock car, bone stock from the factory. No aftermarket tires, suspension, there's nothing. Dollar for dollar, the Corvette is the best platform. It has a perfect 50-50 weight distribution. The engine is up front, very sunk low, almost behind the front wheels, but not completely. And then, of course, you have the transmission. It has the torque tube transmission also in the rear, and it has been like that since the C5. Now we're coming up to the C8. We really haven't had much information on that car 100% besides its quick leaks, but we'll see how that goes. And what this car has done and accomplished in the standard form, then you had the Z51 package, the Z06, and the ZR1. This car has really run circles around all makers and models, including Ferrari, Lamborghini, Nissan. It doesn't matter, and it's smoked a lot of them. And when you take into accountability of, like, if you can take a stock Z06, right? A stock Z06, which you can get here in the United States for about brand new, a 2LT, decently well-equipped car for like 80 grand, or hell, even a used one now because the prices are dropping because of the C8 that's coming out. Everyone wants the C8. You can get them in the 60s and the 50s, 650 horsepower, 650 foot-pounds of torque, whether you want it stick or auto. Obviously, the auto is going to be faster, but some people just like to bang those gears, and that's cool. There's nothing that you're going to be able to buy that's going to be able to turn, stop, and accelerate faster out of the gate. Like I said, not modified. Not what you did in your garage, not what your little nitrous shot or your supercharger, this, that, whatever. No, how it comes from the factory. If it's factory supercharged, it has to stay that way. You don't get to put an aftermarket one on. There's nothing that's going to go around a track or anything faster or better for the money than the Corvette. Now, you can sit here and look it up and yell at me and debate at me, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Yes, did certain Nissans go around the track faster? Sure. They're $30,000 or $40,000 more. Did certain Aston Martins? Sure. They're $40,000 and $50,000 more. Did certain Huracans and Aventadors go fast? Yeah, but for the price of a Huracan, you can buy a house and a Corvette. So you kind of, you know, it's shedding some light when people want to look into the best bang for your buck and horsepower per dollar. The Corvette is pretty much the answer and the way to go, where it still has decently usable luggage space in the back. It's very comfortable still to drive. It is low. I mean, not as low as mine. I've slammed mine almost 3 inches, but like, it is low, but it's 100% completely drivable, and it doesn't beat you up, as opposed to our great other American candidate, which is our Dodge Viper, which is going to hold like, I don't know how many freaking world records. It doesn't, you know, the ACR and all these other ones, production cars. But I was going to trade this once for a Viper. And I drove it, and I've driven a couple of them. And when I drove it after those first 15 minutes, I was like, I got to get the hell out of this thing. That's a great third car. It's a great car. It's a freaking race car. And that's exactly why you see Corvettes everywhere on the streets and not a bunch of Vipers, at least here in the United States. Now, if Corvette wasn't so great, everybody wouldn't have it. And you have to say that and understand that. Oh, I need exclusivity. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. Again, if it wasn't so great, then everybody wouldn't have it. And it wouldn't sell. And it would have gone defunct. And it would just been completely discontinued. I mean, look, it's their flagship model. The Camaro was discontinued. One for reason, it's too damn expensive. Corvette almost priced itself out, and anyone that follows American muscle and American cars, the C1 through C6, it was kind of always the old man's car, right? And your average age group was like in the 45 to 55, and they had to figure out how to make Corvette cool again. And now, in the C7, you've never seen so many young kids with Corvettes than you ever have in your whole life, because it looks cool. Now, you could sit here and say that it looks like a Ferrari or mix this, that, whatever. There's only still so much you can do with a car before it starts to look like something else. It's kind of like Apple and the iPhone and Android and Google and stuff like, oh, you know, how much more are you gonna do before it's not a phone anymore? What do you want the phone to what, rub your balls or something while you're having a phone call or something? And this, that, come on. Like, there's going to be some type of similarities before somebody else is going to say or copy something that somebody else did. And now they're going to sit there and say the new Corvette looks even more like a Ferrari. Oh, okay, whatever. Bottom line is that new Corvette is 60 grand, and your Ferrari that like has to come comparable is 300,000-400,000. And it may beat it. Maybe. It may. This is Chevy. It's got the same engine in it as the Silverado. Fleet vehicle motor. It's been being made for like 80 years. It's not going to break. Now, I'm going to touch point on this. And this is exactly also why this car costs what it does. Now, I'll show you the inside of my car. Mine is a fully optioned 3LT car. Has all of the luxury features. Now, for the ones that are looking at it, for the Americans, this is all right. This is nice interior, right? But for the ones across seas and stuff like that, with that look at some of the Lamborghinis and Ferraris and stuff like that, I'm not going to lie. Y'all interiors are better. GM, Ford, Dodge. Dodge probably has the best interior, but it's just still not as good as, I mean, it's just not as good as the import cars. It's really not. So where you get all the performance and stuff like that, this is exactly where it's going to lack. Now, my car, so you guys may look like it's boring because it's all black. And the only thing I got was the white stitching. And that's how I wanted it. But a lot of people with Corvettes, they get the red inserts on the seats or the red dashes or the carbon fiber dash. I didn't want any of that. I just wanted all black. And it does make spice up and make it look a lot better. But still, I'm not gonna lie, 100%. It's the other interiors, they're better. Now the durability on some of the Italian cars on the interior, I'm not gonna lie, they suck. The German cars and stuff like that, they're perfect, 100%. And you guys think that I'm just gonna sit here and showboat and say that, oh, I love this car. I've had all kinds. I've had the ISFs. I've had the C63 AMGs. I've had all of them. I just like American muscle cars. And each one of those cars did something better. Like I said, specifically, my ISF was probably the most comfortable car I've ever had, and probably the coolest sleeper I've ever had in my whole life. It was freaking awesome, but it just didn't do it for me. And if it did it, I also would have kept it. So just something to look at. You know, Corvette is really an awesome platform, and they did a milestone with the front engine rear wheel drive. And the next best thing is now, like I said, don't always get hooked on looks. You got to look at the whole package and the complete package. And when you could take a Corvette, it's something that's 50, 60 grand, and run around the track, beat on it, and also come home in stock form, and then even when you want to mod it and then whoop on other things that are 4 and 5 and 6 times the cost going down, hey, that's freaking awesome. And the best part is its reliability, and it's cheap to maintain and cheap to fix if you screw it up, because if you're gonna race it on the racetrack, you're gonna screw it up. I'm guaranteeing that 100%. So just look up the times. You know, it's not always about being fastest on the racetrack, but it's also about what's usable. And the Lamborghini for sure is going to always have a higher top speed than this, but are you doing 200 miles an hour every single day? No. So that mid-range and that, you know, jackrabbit start power and that down low torque, which Lamborghinis don't make torque. And when they do make torque, they make it at 7,000 RPM. This thing will make peak torque or start to make good torque at 1,500 RPM. That's more fun. That's more enjoyable. But that doesn't make this a better car. That just makes this a better street car. The Lamborghini is a race car. It is a race car with license plates. Absolutely. It is a useless car, just almost as this is. But that's another debate. So take a look at it. I thought I'd share that out. And if you guys disagree, or if you guys think that there's a better car per dollar and horsepower per dollar out there, let me know. But there's also some good strong contenders. You know, used and new, like the GTR, absolutely. Some of those used R8s and stuff like that, absolutely, which is pretty much a Huracan and stuff like that. But there's plenty of other ones out there. But an R8 that's a 2014 or 2015, you'd have to go to like a first gen R8, which is going to be like 60 grand. And that is definitely not going to walk all over a Z06. Or hell, even probably a Z51. None of those cars. And some of those other GTRs, the 09s, 10s, they look dated and stuff like that. And they're still a lot of money, but they're still not going to walk all over a Corvette in handling, braking, or turning. And you can look it up for yourself. So I thought I'd share that on with you guys. And you guys never really get to see Snow White. She's always usually in the trailer. So you got to take a peek and look at her. So, but that's going to wrap it up here for today's video. I hope you guys liked what you saw. Facebook, Instagram, @TheSpeedBug. Same name here as YouTube. Peace.